Ladies and gentlemen, today we find ourselves standing at a moment that demands more than just words. It demands action, compassion, and unity. The fires that have erupted in Los Angeles are not just burning trees and homes. They are testing the strength of our community and the resilience of our spirits. In times like these, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to look at the magnitude of the destruction and wonder, what can I do? But let me remind you of something profound. No single drop of rain feels responsible for the flood. Yet together, they transform the landscape. The fires currently raging in Los Angeles are not just a natural disaster. They are a stark reminder of the fragility of our surroundings and the unpredictable power of nature. In the blink of an eye, neighborhoods that once echoed with laughter and life have been reduced to smoldering ashes. These fires are not selective. They do not distinguish between the old and the young, the rich and the poor, or the strong and the vulnerable. They consume everything in their path, leaving behind heartbreak, uncertainty, and loss. It is difficult to truly grasp the enormity of such a crisis unless one has stood in its wake, watching flames engulf a lifetime of memories. For many, this fire is more than a news headline. It's a personal catastrophe. Families are fleeing their homes with only what they can carry, unsure if they will have anything to return to. Businesses that have been built over decades are disappearing overnight, and natural landscapes that have been part of our collective heritage for generations are being forever altered. The devastation is more than just physical. There is an emotional and psychological toll that often goes unnoticed, but is just as profound. Imagine the parents trying to comfort their children who are asking when they can go back home, not understanding that home might no longer exist. Think of the elderly who have spent their lives in one place, now forced to navigate a world where their roots have been torn away. These are not just stories, they are the lived experiences of our neighbors, and their pain cannot be overlooked. Moreover, the crisis is not contained within the flames. Smoke fills the air, creating health hazards for miles around. Hospitals are seeing an increase in respiratory issues, and vulnerable populations such as children and the elderly are at an even greater risk. First responders are working tirelessly, but the scale of the disaster is stretching resources thin, creating a need for the entire community to step up and support one another. This is not the first time Los Angeles has faced such devastation, and sadly it may not be the last. Our city is no stranger to wildfires, yet every time one occurs, it reminds us of how interconnected we are. When one part of our community suffers, we all feel the ripple effects. Homes lost are not just physical structures. They are the places where lives unfold, where dreams are nurtured, and where bonds are formed. The loss is deeply personal, yet its impact is widely felt. In moments like these, it's crucial to acknowledge the enormity of the crisis and the challenges it presents. By doing so, we not only honor the struggles of those directly affected, but we also lay the groundwork for action. This fire is a shared burden, a test of our resilience, our compassion, and our ability to stand together as one community in the face of overwhelming adversity. Saying, in the face of great adversity, there is a powerful truth that emerges. No one can weather the storm alone. A crisis like the fires in Los Angeles reminds us that we are stronger together, bound by a shared responsibility to care for one another. Community solidarity becomes not just a nice idea, but an essential lifeline in times like these. It's the thread that holds us together when the fabric of our daily lives is threatened. When disaster strikes, the natural inclination for many is to look inward, to focus on personal survival and the immediate needs of their own household. But true strength lies in looking outward, seeing beyond our own walls and recognizing the needs of those around us. This is the moment when neighbors transform into lifelines, when strangers become allies, and when the collective spirit of a community rises to meet the challenge. Think of the stories that emerge during crises like these. People opening their homes to those who have been displaced, businesses offering food and supplies without hesitation, volunteers working tirelessly at shelters to ensure everyone has a place to rest and recover. These acts of kindness, both large and small, serve as powerful reminders of what it means to belong to a community. They remind us that solidarity is not just about proximity, it's about shared humanity. Community solidarity also manifests in the unseen efforts. It's the firefighter who works double shifts to protect lives and property. It's the teacher who comforts children, helping them process the fear and uncertainty they're experiencing. It's the group of friends who come together to organize a fundraiser or collect donations, channeling their energy into action. Because together we can do more. These moments are woven into the fabric of the community, creating a safety net that extends far beyond what any single individual could achieve. But solidarity is more than action, it's also a mindset. It's about recognizing that your neighbor's pain is your pain, their loss is your loss, and their hope is your hope. It's about choosing to stand united even when it might be easier to turn away. It's about listening to the stories of those affected, offering empathy instead of judgment, and understanding that rebuilding isn't just about replacing what was lost, it's about healing together. The beauty of solidarity is that it has a ripple effect. One act of kindness inspires another, and before long, an entire community is mobilized, working together to overcome the challenges they face. This collective effort creates not only immediate relief, but also a lasting sense of connection and purpose. In helping others, we find meaning. In lifting others, we lift ourselves. As the fires rage on, this spirit of togetherness becomes more important than ever. It's what allows us to face the devastation with courage and determination. It's what ensures that no one is left behind. And it's what will ultimately allow us to rebuild stronger, not just as individuals, but as an unshakable community. At times of crisis, it is easy to feel small, to look at the vastness of the destruction and wonder how one person could possibly make a difference. But personal responsibility is the foundation upon which collective recovery is built. It begins with the understanding that while no single individual can do everything, every individual can do something. In the face of the fires that have ravaged Los Angeles, the role of personal responsibility has never been more critical. Personal responsibility is not about shouldering the entire weight of a disaster. It's about recognizing that each of us has a part to play. It starts with simple, immediate actions, checking on a neighbor who might need assistance, offering shelter to a friend in need, or donating resources to those who have lost everything. These may seem like small gestures, but when multiplied across an entire community, they create a powerful force for good. It also means staying informed and making thoughtful choices that prioritize safety and well-being, whether it's adhering to evacuation orders, reducing risks by clearing flammable materials from property, or sharing reliable information to counter misinformation. Personal responsibility is about taking proactive steps to minimize harm. It's about not waiting for someone else to act first, but instead being the one to set an example. Personal responsibility is also deeply tied to preparation. Disasters remind us of the importance of being ready, not just for our own sake, but for the sake of those around us. Having an emergency plan, keeping supplies on hand, and understanding how to respond in a crisis are not just individual concerns, they are community concerns. When each person is prepared, the collective strain on emergency services and resources is reduced, allowing help to reach those who need it most. But personal responsibility goes beyond immediate actions. It's also about mindset. It's about embracing a sense of ownership for the well-being of others, even if they are strangers. It's about understanding that our actions or inactions have a ripple effect. For instance, neglecting to properly extinguish a campfire or ignoring fire safety guidelines can have devastating consequences for an entire community. On the other hand, choosing to be vigilant and responsible can prevent tragedy and save lives. At its core, personal responsibility is a recognition of interconnectedness. It's the acknowledgement that while we may not be able to control natural disasters, we can control how we respond to them. It's the decision to move from a mindset of helplessness to one of empowerment, to focus not on what we can't do, but on what we can. In moments like these, personal responsibility becomes an act of leadership. It's about inspiring others through action, showing that even the smallest contributions matter. It's about proving that when each of us takes responsibility, we create a ripple effect of kindness, resilience, and strength, one that can overcome even the greatest challenges. In times of disaster, when chaos looms large and uncertainty takes hold, there is one group of individuals who stand unwavering in their commitment: first responders. These brave men and women are the beating heart of any crisis response, the ones who run toward danger when others are fleeing from it. As Los Angeles battles the raging fires, it is impossible to overstate the importance of pausing to express deep and heartfelt gratitude for their selfless service. First responders, firefighters, paramedics, police officers, and emergency medical personnel are often the first line of defense against the overwhelming power of nature. They put their own lives on the line to protect others, often working grueling shifts under extreme conditions. For firefighters on the front lines, this means enduring searing heat, suffocating smoke, and unpredictable flames that threaten to engulf everything in their path. For paramedics, it means racing against time to provide critical care to the injured, stabilizing lives in the most dire circumstances. What makes their work even more extraordinary is that it goes beyond physical bravery. It requires mental and emotional fortitude that many of us can only begin to imagine. These individuals carry the weight of immense responsibility, knowing that lives depend on their actions. They face unimaginable pressure, but remain calm, focused, and resolute. Their courage is not just in their actions, but in their ability to persist despite exhaustion, fear, and the emotional toll of witnessing devastation. In this country, we must educate people. They must learn to resist adversity. Gratitude for first responders is about more than simply acknowledging their heroism. It is about recognizing the depth of their sacrifice. Many leave their own families behind to protect others, often not knowing when or if they will return home. While we seek shelter, they confront the storm. While we hold our loved ones close, they are out in the field ensuring others have the chance to do the same. It is also important to remember that first responders are not superhuman. They are ordinary people performing extraordinary acts. They have families, dreams, and lives outside their uniforms. Yet, they choose to dedicate themselves to the service of others. This level of commitment is a testament to their character, their compassion, and their unwavering belief in the value of human life. Their efforts extend beyond the immediate crisis After the fires are extinguished and the smoke clears, first responders often continue to work tirelessly in recovery efforts. They help communities rebuild, support families in their grief, and stand as pillars of strength in the face of loss. Their dedication does not end when the flames subside. It endures as long as there are people in need. Expressing gratitude is not just about saying thank you, but about truly understanding and valuing what they give and what they give up for the sake of others. It's about showing support, whether through words, actions, or policies that prioritize their safety and well-being. In the end, our gratitude is a reflection of the profound respect and admiration they so rightly deserve. Adversity has a way of arriving unannounced, disrupting the rhythm of life and challenging everything we hold dear. The fires raging in Los Angeles are a stark example of this, presenting not only physical destruction, but emotional and psychological trials as well. Yet within every challenge lies an opportunity, a chance to learn, to grow, and to emerge stronger. Adversity, as painful as it may be, often becomes one of life's greatest teachers. One of the most profound lessons adversity offers is the reminder of life's fragility. In moments of crisis, we are confronted with how quickly the material things we value can be taken away. Homes that took years to build, possessions that carried sentimental meaning, and routines that provided comfort can all disappear in an instant. This realization forces us to reevaluate what truly matters: our relationships, our health, and the intangible aspects of life that no fire can destroy. Adversity compels us to appreciate the simple, often overlooked blessings that we might otherwise take for granted. Another lesson is the undeniable power of resilience. Crises push people to their limits, testing their ability to adapt and persevere. It is in these moments that we discover the strength we didn't know we had. Adversity teaches us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. It encourages a shift in perspective, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth and reminding us that setbacks are often stepping stones to greater achievements. Adversity also teaches the importance of preparation and foresight. When disaster strikes, it highlights vulnerabilities that may have gone unnoticed. Whether it's the need for better fire safety measures, more robust community support systems, or personal emergency plans, these moments reveal where we can improve to better protect ourselves and those around us in the future. These lessons extend beyond individual preparedness, prompting communities and governments to reassess policies and infrastructure to prevent similar crises down the road. Perhaps most importantly, adversity brings out the best in humanity. It shows us the power of compassion, empathy, and collective action. During a crisis, people come together in ways that transcend differences, uniting around a common purpose. Strangers offer shelter, volunteers provide aid, and communities rally to support those in need. These acts of kindness and solidarity remind us of the strength of human connection and the profound impact we can have on one another's lives. Finally, adversity forces us to pause and reflect on our priorities. It encourages us to live with greater intention, to focus on what truly matters, and to let go of what does not serve us. It is a humbling experience, one that strips away superficialities and reveals the core of who we are and what we value. Though adversity is never welcome, it leaves behind a legacy of lessons that shape our character and guide us forward. It reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found, and that every challenge carries the seeds of growth, resilience, and renewal. Now is the time for action. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. As the fires in Los Angeles continue to wreak havoc, we are faced with a choice. We can stand on the sidelines, watching the flames consume more than just buildings and trees. Or we can step forward and become part of the solution. This is a call to action, not just for those directly affected, but for everyone who believes in the power of community and the strength of unity. Action begins with awareness. Look around you. See the pain, the loss, and the uncertainty that this crisis has brought into the lives of countless families. Imagine, even for a moment, what it would feel like to be in their shoes, to lose your home, your memories, and your sense of security. Awareness is not about feeling sorry for those affected. It is about feeling inspired to help, driven by the understanding that their struggle is our struggle, their fight is our fight,